Alright, we're back, and I think this is going to be a little vlog out here. The kids are out here, so I've had to throw it up for them real quick. They're out there running the quads and stuff. So I thought I'd throw it up for them. I just did an oil change on the old girl. Oh, there you go! Hey, he's getting it figured out! Heck yeah! Let's see that again. Get them both up. Yeah! You're figuring it out, aren't you? Awesome. I remember when you were dragging them both. Now you kept practicing, then it paid off. Heck yeah. I guess I'll pull one more, but security's going to run us off in no time. Keep practicing. Anyway, I ran into that kid. He lives in my neighborhood, and last year he was just dragging both of his feet, just modulating that way. I was like, kid, you gotta get at least your foot brake on there, and that way when it's time you can use it instead of ruining even your worst sneakers, because they ain't gonna last that way. He's doing it in the dirt. But this is a Sunday chat. I'm gonna try to edit this out, and my microphone might sound a little bit different because I'm using my normal camera over here as the mic, because I think I left my microphone in my truck. I had it with me when I went to the track, and I just didn't get everything all together. So we're just doing the old loop. It's going to start getting too dark for us, but we're going to just see how well the old Osmo can do. And it's the season of the corn. We're the Dewey of the corn out here. I made an attempt a few times to make some videos, but you know, I'm so busy and overworked. I just don't have the energy anymore. Here it is Sunday, and I went ahead and went to work, and I worked at my mom's house, and I worked cleaning house at my house. By the time the weekend's over, there's no weekend left, and I haven't done anything for fun or unwinding or anything. There's just nothing but a continual amount of work and recovering from work. So the bugs are out, and the humidity is way up, so you're going to probably hear some popping from the deceleration on the DRZ, the stroker. Okay, so all of you jetting Nazis, all you jetting Nazis can just shut up or something. But yeah, I can just feel the humidity in the air. When I was mowing with the tractor, and the tires are all wet, and the blades are all wet, and everything sucks. But what doesn't suck is getting out and riding. So that's what we're doing. Just glad to see some neighborhood kids out riding their buggies and quads. And it looked like that was a little fitty. He's ripping the fitty. But he's getting his feet up and he was using the rear brake, so that's good. And what I'm going to talk about today is pretty nominal. It's just kind of getting you up to date with the XR650L, which is yet reared its ugly face again. I found out, I tried to put this thing back together, and I should have known better myself than to have attempted this without checking it, but shame on me. I found out in a roundabout way the counterbalancer shaft is bent. I was doing a mock-up of putting the cases back together, much to my dismay, with the I got a bike coming up on me fast. Well, they're fast. But anyway, much to my dismay, oh, it's burning oil. But anyway, oh God, it's burning a lot of oil. Anyway, it wasn't aligning up correctly. Let's see if I can catch up with this guy. So it's gonna be loud. And I decided to resplit it, and I used the gasket. I had the gasket in place, and it ripped the damn gasket, because at the case halves these have a gasket instead of a Honda Bond. God, that oil's in there. But it's bent. I spun it on the other side of the bearing, or the other side of the case half bearings, and it's just shot. It's destroyed. So I got a used one from like a 2019, I think is what it was. Someone was parking out. Let's see if we can get the biker Go Fast boys' attention. And so it's on hold putting this thing back together. Yeah, he's over there going fast. Oh, he's already burned it away. Let's see what we can do with this fresh asphalt here. Anyway, I got the parts ordered, so it's on delay. So I'm just sitting here waiting on parts, so it gives me an opportunity to do some maintenance. Oh, I didn't have this. So we need to get off anyway, someone's behind me. But I'm gonna have to do some maintenance on the DRZ here. I'm still on the OEM rear brake pads, and they're just about out of service. So something I'm going to do, probably not tonight, but definitely tomorrow, but maybe tonight, is replace my pads. And I'm going to go ahead and give the piston a nice little cleaning so I don't push a bunch of junk into the seals. So I'm looking forward to that. And I did do an oil change on old girl, so that's awesome. So she's all serviced up. I'm feeling pretty good about that. I might, if it's going to be a while, I might mess with the Banshee bike a little bit. Obviously, it's got a 180 rear tire on a 4.25 inch wheel, so that ain't going to cut it. So I may put my 150 on there, a Connie Attack SM. I might just do that. I don't know. I'm gonna look at how that is, and I want to try to mess with the jetting on these stock carbs. I want to try to at least get it to where it's, you know, okay, functional. But we'll see how that goes. I don't know what that was. It was like an F4i or something. But it's burning a lot of oil. I hope they top it off regularly. So I'm excited about Banshee bike. I'm going to, I think what I'm going to have to do, because it's got pretty much a continual slow leak, typical of a shift shaft seal. So I'm going to look and see what I have for that, and see if I have one that's matched up to it. So maybe we can do that. We're likely going to have to take that engine apart. I'm really suspect of a crankshaft seal on it. I don't know for sure. I might try to diagnose that, but just being able to have a little bit of time to play with it, that's probably going to be, I'm going to be very minimal on what it is I can mess with. But needless to say, I'm excited to maybe even just to do something. You know, it's got pod filters on it, right? Which is very much the drag lifestyle. And what do I mean by that? I mean, without an airbox, a lot of the pickup from the RPMs from down low, or, you know, relatively low to mid, it's going to cause some hesitation. So getting the jetting right on that, even with the electrons, it's going to be very difficult. So I might try to simulate some way, shape, or form an airbox. That might not be plausible, but we'll mess with it and see if we can get somewhere with it. Always stop for the stop sign. As it's getting darker here, obviously, but I'm very aware of the fact that, you know, it's going to have quite a bit of hesitation, but we can minimize that by, for its most part, messing with our, you know, trying to get our pilot somewhat right, and our main jet in the ballpark. I definitely don't want it lean, burning up those stock cylinders and pistons. We're looking at building this engine anyway, but I don't want to destroy it and cause other carnage. But as we increase our speed, there's going to be a lot of airflow around those pods. That being said, that means we're going to have a lot of turbulence, and that can cause problems with the jetting as well. So it's a difficult place to be, if that makes any sense. But that's where we're at for right now regarding that project. You know, the pod filters, if you're someone from Link's garage, you'll see that you know, he played with the different types of filters that were on there to kind of see which one works best. And you know, it's all kind of that same sort of problem. So, you know, those pod filters are really close to the shock and to the frame. I just barely missed just barely missed. The arms of the railroad. But it's starting to get a little dark, and I'm worried about how well the old cameras work in here. I just wanted to do a quick little Sunday chat. You know, I'd been, when I was working on Link's garage on his bike, you know, I was uploading very regularly, but quite frankly, I don't have a whole lot to say right now. I started to do videos, and I didn't like how they turned out. I don't really have any projects that I want to share, and that's just kind of where we're at right now. So I want to try to keep this channel alive by uploading somewhat regularly, try to get something out at least weekly or bi-weekly to just kind of have a chat. I do want to get back to doing a live every now and again. That seems to be pretty fun. So we're going to do some of those as time allows. I'm going to be going into harvest season really soon at the vineyard, so it's going to make things more difficult as well. So stick with me. I got a few projects this winter, or fall and winter, and I might be going to the track again a time or two with the Jake now that he's got his Sherco somewhat healthy. He's going to be somewhat limited on how much he can be out of town though, so, and you know, it's kind of a private issue, so don't ask. If you're in the circle, you know. So we're going to try to get him out there and at least get a day in, just like a single track day, and then get out of there. We'll see what happens. So stay tuned for that. I'll try to edit it up pretty good. That's all I really have to say for now. So that's it for our Sunday chat. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.